Welcome this evening. My name is Darren Smith, and I am joined this evening with the one and only Miss Rais Keyes. And Miss Reyes, I must say that it is a pleasure for you to join me this evening on a special edition of All Politics is Local. You can give us a call at 816-372-2170. Now, Ms. Reyes, tonight we're going to be discussing this debate and what to look forward to in tonight's debate between the Republican and the Democratic nominees for President of the United States. Of course, in about 5 to 7 minutes, we'll be joined by two of Donald Trump's biggest surrogates and supporters, Diamond and Silk, as you all may know from their YouTube fame. You can catch them on the Viewers View. They'll be joining us at the top of the hour. Reyes, we have Donald J. Trump, the Republican nominee, taking on Hillary Clinton in the first debate in Hofstra, New York. Give me your thoughts on tonight's debate.
I think it's going to be exciting. I cannot wait to see how he deals with her directly. I know he said so many things about her out on the campaign trail, so I'm excited to see how he's going to do face-to-face with her.
Really? So now, some of the topics, the three main topics that will be on tonight's debate will include America's direction, achieving prosperity, and securing America. But there are also going to be issues. Now, it'll be broken down into 6 segments. However, it'll be 90 minutes straight with no breaks. How do you think Donald Trump, in past debates, will be able to perform in tonight's debate? And are the expectations, in your opinion, so low that it's hard for him to lose this debate?
My expectations are not low, and he's always bragged about having stamina and energy. So I think that he will be able to withstand anything tonight as far as energy wise. Like I said, I think it'll be exciting, and I can't wait.
Well, let's see. We got America's direction, achieving prosperity, and securing America. Now, one of the things that I'm hoping that they'll be discussing tonight is obviously the big protests and stuff that's taking place in Charlotte, North Carolina, but also, the Black Lives Matter movement and policing, so to speak. Now, lately, Donald Trump has been trying to reach out to the African American vote, but a lot of people are saying or believing that he's reaching out so he can attract suburban white women. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that he is actually going for the black vote. He would not have been in Detroit at the churches. He would not have brought Omarosa on, and people like Don King, and also Russell Simmons has championed him as well. So I think he's actually doing the smart thing and going for the black vote, as he should.
Yeah. Now, you would consider yourself a registered Republican, correct?
I am a registered Republican.
Yeah, at the moment I'm a registered Democrat. So, but now we discussed prior to the show that at the time we weren't exactly clear on our support of the candidates, and for the sake of the show, the debate, and the pre-debate and stuff like that, we were going to take the sides of the party nominees and stuff. But you have decided to come around and support Trump, correct?
Um,
I mean,
yes.
I've come to support Hillary Clinton. This is the first time I've actually publicly said that in front of you and live for the world to see. So I know I'm going to get a lot of flack from a Republican brother of mine out in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
Yeah, well, just a week ago.
No, just
you
a day or two ago.
You were singing a different tune, so.
Oh, yeah, well, now we still have between now and November 8th, so there's still a lot of time. But let me ask you this. Because I know you said that Trump has, gone out and, his supporters, the people that he has supporting him or whatever. But do you think that issues like the birther movement and some of his talks dealing with immigration or whatever would hurt him with the minority vote, not just black votes, but Hispanics and other immigrant votes?
I think Trump has a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly speaking, I think many African Americans are skeptical anyway about Republicans, and especially Donald Trump not having a political background, so to speak. So I think even though he's come out and said he was born in America, I still think that black people especially are very skeptical, and they think it's just a ploy to get their vote.
Yeah, it's funny. Before the show started, I was in a cab coming over to the studio, and the funny thing about it is the gentleman was asking me about tonight's debate, and I told him how depressing it was, but like everybody else, we're going to tune in because you just never know what you're going to get. You don't know if Donald Trump is going to you don't know which Donald Trump is going to show up, and you don't know which Hillary is going to show up, and she's going to try to pull Donald Trump out to get him agitated, or if she's going to try to take the high road and be the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. But the gentleman was asking me why I supported one over the other, and when he asked me about Trump, this is just my opinion. I know it differs from yours, but he asked me why I could not support Trump, and I just said that I believe he was a racist with a lot of the stuff that he did over the last 5 years or 8 years with the birther talk. Now, we went back and forth as to his definition, but of course, when I explained to him that, for me as a black man, when you're questioning the gentleman's citizenship and he was born in Hawaii, but then on top of that, you try to force him to show his papers. I said, that's what they did after slavery or whatever. If you got caught, the first thing that the white man wanted to do was to see your papers. And if you didn't have your papers, as you saw from the movie 12 Years a Slave, they kidnap you, they put you into slavery and things of that nature. And so, once I told him that, he was like, I never looked at it like that. And of course, I'm like, I wouldn't expect you to. But once I broke it down to him as to why, he said, okay, I can kind of, I understand from your point of view. And like I said, I personally, that's just my feeling. I'm still, I was still trying to be open to possibly supporting him just to see, but another thing that I told the gentleman was that as it relates to Trump and his politics and his policies, he hasn't been as specific as obviously, Hillary Clinton and other people have been. So that was another reason why I've been kind of skeptical to even lend him my support. Though,
let me ask you a question. Yeah. Was it racism or racist of him to question Ted Cruz's citizenship as well?
Oh, yeah.
How so?
Well, he was a dual immigrant, but, I didn't think it was. Hold on, you asked me about whether. State that again.
Was he a racist or being racist? Was it racism when he questioned Ted Cruz's? Because there was a question brought up during the primaries about Ted Cruz being able to run because he wasn't, or may or may not have been born in the U.S.
He was born in Canada. I believe he had dual citizenship. So I remember he renounced his Canadian citizenship. I don't think that would have been a problem either way. But But was it racist? Because he did it to a black man. He also did it to a white man. Ted Cruz identifies as Caucasian. Well, he can identify as Caucasian, but he's not a Caucasian. He's a Hispanic of that descent.
I just go by what they call themselves. There's some black people who are not black.
Yeah. Well, they say everybody that's your color is not your kind. So.
Right.
But now let's get back to this debate tonight. What do you expect as a Republican for Hillary to do? What do you think that she's going to do in the debate? Do you think she's going to try to provoke Trump to maybe lose his temper, kind of like he did with Carly Fiorina? Do you think he's going to try to bring that out of him? Or
Absolutely. Trump is as smart as he is and as strategic as he is. He also is very provocative and will respond, as he has. And I think the easy route would be to draw him in and make him act the way he acts.
All right, well, we're going to take a very, very, very quick time out. When we come back, we should have Diamond and Silk on the line joining us via Skype. Keep it tuned in. Actually, this is them right now. So let's bring them in right away, shall we? All right, Miss Diamond and Silk, what's going on with you this evening?
Hi, we're wonderful.
Wonderful. How are you?
Hello.
First of all, thank you for joining us. Now, you see me via screen, but my broadcast partner is sitting right here next to me. And her name is Miss Rais Keyes, so she'll be joining us as well on here. So it might be kind of tough just for how. Okay, I see.
Hi.
So yes, I have the beautiful black sister. Now, first of all, I want to thank you all for joining us, and I've told viewers that they can catch you on the Viewers View to subscribe to you on YouTube. So I want to jump right into things and ask you, because we are less than an hour away from the debate tonight. What should we look for from Donald Trump in this debate?
I think you're going to see a man that don't waver, don't back down, and that's going to stand his ground when it comes to old crooked Hillary.
That's right.
Do you think that he'll call her or refer to her as crooked Hillary?
He may. She's crooked. Call it like you see it. If you see a crook, it's a crook.
That's right. The truth is false.
Yes.
Now, I do want to, because I know we only have you for a short period of time, so I got to jump right into different topics and questions. But what, if anything, do you think Trump will say tonight in reaching out to African Americans? And what is Trump's message about the protesting in your home state of North Carolina?
Well, first of all, I think he's going to stay on message when he say that he will be good for African Americans and he wants to come in and clean up these urban and inner cities. As far as policing, it works both ways. We have to give respect, and respect will be given back to us. We don't like what's going on in our country, around the country, when it comes to police officers and when it comes to citizens. So we have to come to a middle ground. Everybody is going to have to sit at the table, and let's see how we can solve this problem. I believe we need to weed out the bad apples in these police departments, because some of these people, they don't even need to be holding a gun. They don't like what they do. And if you're scared of black folk or any folk, you don't need to be an officer. So I think that they're going to weed out the bad apples, and then we're going to get respect back.
That's right.
We're going to know how, when an officer approaches our car, how we're supposed to act. What we cannot do as citizens, as African Americans, as white folks, whoever, when an officer approaches us and they give a direct order and we do what we want to, that's what we cannot do. See, respect works both ways. You cannot expect for an officer to respect you and you don't respect the officer.
Absolutely.
Now let me ask.
Thing that Donald Trump is going to do is make black people inclusive. Let you see that you are part of the American dream as well. That you don't have to sit back in a box and wonder, what he gonna do for us. He's gonna let you see that you're part of the whole American dream as well, and make everybody inclusive.
Now, speaking back on the on Trump's deal about policing, do you agree with Trump's call for a nationwide stop and frisk program? And if so, why?
Nationwide stop and frisk. As a matter of fact, I was there when he said it. He said it at a town hall with Kennedy. He was talking about Chicago, because we've had over 3,000 shootings in Chicago, and no one seems to be concerned about it. And as soon as an African American shoots a cop that's African American shoots another African American, a young man or a male, now everybody is going crazy. Exactly. He was talking about Chicago. What are we going to do about all of this black on black violence in Chicago is what he was talking about. It's got to stop.
He also referenced Mayor Giuliani and his efforts to clean up New York City, and a big part of that cleanup was a stop and frisk. So it wasn't anything that he was saying was mandatory, but he just used that as an example of...
He gave an opinion.
Yeah,
he gave an opinion.
Of how that
was posed to him about Chicago. He gave his opinion about the matter. And then if you look at it, you have black on black crime, and nobody black really want to address it. We don't come together and start talking about crime unless it's a white police officer shooting a black male or a black female. Now everybody want to have a solution and talk about it. Charity starts at home. We got to first save ourselves and stop killing each other before we can look out and say, stop killing us. It starts at the house. It starts at home. And there's nothing wrong. If you see somebody pants bulging and you think they may have a gun and they may be a convicted felon, what's wrong with the police officer saying, it looks suspicious, let me save somebody else's life? And a lot of times we as black people feel, what they're going to do is take and signal these people out and say, well, these are the people that they're going to go after, just the black folks.
It's not for just black folk. It's for anybody. It's protecting. What I want to say this here, Silk, is this here. A lot of this violence, who feels the impacts that African American black folk.
That's right.
It's black folks. It's in the hood. It's in the black community.
That's right.
So we don't bring back okay. What can we do? Who have the solution to stop all of this fighting?
And it's not for singling out black folks. That's
right.
for protecting
all American people. So how do we protect American people?
That's right.
So, we got to come up with a solution in Chicago. We cannot have three. It's unacceptable.
And you know what else? Another sad thing is this. The same people, especially black people, protesting the same justice system that black people is protesting against. It's the same justice system or people, current administration, that they will vote for to keep that same system in place.
That's right. Absolutely.
Now, a quick question. Now, did you all support Senator Obama when he ran in 2008 for president? Did you all vote for him?
We did what we was taught to do. what they tell you. We vote Democrat, you vote the head of a ticket.
Right.
So that's what we did. But we found out that just because we're black, we don't have to vote Democrat. We can vote for whoever we want to vote for. And if we choose to vote for the businessman, we can do that.
My question was that I was going to lead to is because you voted for him. Then, what was the switch? What happened between '08 to now to where you're voting for Obama in 2008 to Donald Trump in 2016?
I don't like Obama policy.
Okay.
He did not put Americans first. He forgot about the hood. He forgot about his hometown, Chicago. I didn't like that.
That's right.
We just had the first African and black president that's even afraid to talk about black people. The one thing that I can appreciate from Donald Trump, at least he's not afraid to say I will be the best president for African Americans.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
And another thing, you have illegal immigrants that's running a mark on America, and it's affecting the African American community on a daily basis. As an African American, if you do something illegal right now, you're going to jail. So how is it okay for an illegal immigrant to cross? They can get a job and not pay taxes into our system. They live better than the average American brother, thanks to that crime bill that Bill Clinton signed into law and Hillary Clinton back, that got a lot of our black brothers locked up. So when they get out, they do the crime, they do the crime, they do the time, and when they get out, they can't even get a job because a lot of these illegal immigrants have a lot of these jobs.
And when black folks commit crimes, they lock them up.
That's
But
right.
then that illegal cross that border, but they give them the American dream.
Exactly.
And we're tired of
That's right.
When Trump spoke about the issues in the black community, the lack of jobs, the prison raids, and all the things that he spoke about that day, and he received a lot of backlash from black people. What did you guys think about that?
He didn't receive a lot of black people. He received that backlash from them 4 or 5 leaders that control the NAACP, the black congressional, the Congressional Black Caucus, and all of them. Let me tell you something. When Donald Trump took and said, "What the hell do you have to lose?" He needed to say it just like that because it got black folks' attention and they woke up.
That's right.
It's just like a radio. You don't hear that radio when it's down. But when you cut that music up, that's when you hear it, and that's when you feel it. So he said it the way he said it, and black folks felt it, and you know what? It was the naked, nasty truth.
That's right. We have people that is suffering, people that is homeless, people that is in poverty, people that's been voting for the same system over 50 years and have gotten what? Stuck in the same rut, looking really messed up. And so somebody had to wake up and just tell the naked, nasty truth because we're tired of believing a well-dressed lie.
That's right. And Hillary Clinton don't ever address what's going on in the hood.
That's right.
She's never done that. Look at what she did back there to them people in Haiti. They don't talk about that. All black Americans should look at that movie called Clinton Cash.
Right.
And it will tell you a lot about Hillary Clinton and that Clinton Foundation.
Exactly.
She's a crook.
That's
And
right.
we will never let a crook off the hook.
Now, before we get out of here, because now I'm a supporter of Hillary Clinton, which I've announced tonight, and my colleague over here to the right is a supporter of Donald Trump. So you
Big time.
so
Big time.
Now let me ask you. So what do you see coming out of this debate tonight? Where does Trump go from here, and how does, in your opinion, will he pull out November 8th?
I think Trump is going to be the 45th president of the United States. I'm looking for him to not waver, don't back down, and stay on them.
Yeah.
Talk about them emails. Talk about how she been in public service for almost 30 or 40 years, and she hadn't done nothing.
That's
Let
right.
her know because she hadn't done nothing, she's fired. The
That's
American
right.
people don't want to hear nothing from her no more.
And what is it that she can do in 4 years that she hadn't done in 30 years? Hillary Clinton was born in Chicago, Illinois. And if she don't have enough to reach back and help her own city, how can we expect her to help America?
That's right.
Amen.
Especially black America.
Mm-hmm.
So do you not think that her policies that she's putting in place now via college, affordable health care, stuff like that will affect blacks? Or do you not think that her policies will be better off than what the president has right now?
Why did she put them policies in place 30 or 40 years ago? She told them people in New York when she ran for senator she was going to create them jobs. She didn't create one job.
That's right.
See, we are tired of voting for the same system that keep handing us problems. They They only telling us something to keep us quiet, but not enough to make a difference.
That's right.
We are voting for Donald J. Trump, the man with the master plan that's going to make this place great again, greater than we've ever seen it before.
That's right.
We want a secure border. We want our jobs back where we're thriving, and we want this country united, bringing back spirit, baby. We are voting for Donald J. Trump.
And it's very, very funny that all of a sudden Hillary Clinton has solutions. All of a sudden she has solutions.
And she have a plan.
A plan.
She got a plan, all right,
That's
to bank America, to bankrupt America, and funnel and tunnel money through that Clinton Foundation.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I'm not gonna say she's gonna be doing any money laundering, but let me ask you this now: with Donald Trump's economic proposals that he's put out, it's been talked about that his would explode the deficit by $10 trillion. Now, am I reading things wrong, or is that not a little miscalculation going on Trump and his economic proposals?
I think you may be reading things wrong. I think his economic plan is going to be great, especially for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
If you have a company or if you are an entrepreneur, you get taxed, that your tax rate will be 15% flat across the board. I think that's good because right now you're paying 33%.
And a good thing with these people that's coming out of prison where they can't get hired. Well, Donald Trump is setting different things in position where you can create your own job if they won't give you a job.
Absolutely.
You can be your own boss. And you will have to pay it 15%.
And another thing, if you ever want to know what's going on with the body of people, look at the head. So if the head is successful and prosperous, then the body of people going to be successful and prosperous.
That's right.
I don't want another broke president.
That's right.
I want my president signing the front of those checks, not the back.
I know, that's right. Now, Ms. Diamond, I know before I let you go, the next debate is going to be in October. I do hope we can get you back on, with these last few debates that take place between the two candidates, if your schedule permits.
Okay, yes.
Definitely.
Give us a call.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for joining us. I know you got other things to do, and I want to be respectful of the time that you gave us, so I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Well, Ms. Reyes, there you go. We got a chance to speak to Ms. Diamond Silk. What do you think of the young ladies?
They are fabulous, and they are right on.
All right. Well, I disagree with them politically, but I still love my sisters one way or the other. Now, we do have a caller on the line, Mr. Scott Shockley. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. What's going on with you, sir? How can we assist you this evening as it relates to this debate? I know you're excited and just getting ready for it, correct?
That's correct. I do have a question for you, Darren.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And my question is this. In 2008, I supported and you supported President Obama, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you came out tonight and you're supporting Hillary Clinton.
Correct.
Now, I have to ask you this question because in 2008, our president and the First Lady both said that she was unfit for office.
Okay.
But now they're supporting her as President of the United States. Now, answer me, what is the difference besides all the conflict that she has caused from 2008 till now?
Well, as I explained to Ms. Reyes off air, and trust me, you know as well as I do because we've talked about this. It's more or less supporting the president, this president, versus my support of Hillary Clinton, and I don't apologize for that. And so it's basically, what he has done, and he's not a perfect president. Me and my mother today, as a matter of fact, there were discussions that, that we felt that he didn't do enough for black people. But at the end of the day, I'm a student of history, and I know that if Trump got into office, he would try to overturn and erase everything that the president did as though he was never in office over the last 8 years. And for me, I can't support that. And like I said, as much as it's more support for the president of this president versus supporting Hillary being the better candidate. And then again, I'm just not a fan of Donald Trump. We've had this discussion about about our lack of faith in either one of these candidates. But if I have to choose between the two, I don't exactly if in a perfect world I'd be voting for Bernie Sanders, and since he's not the candidate, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, in a perfect world, I would be voting for Marco Rubio.
Right.
Uh,
Right. And so
you
because
know,
of the candidates that we have.
yeah, I mean, there's only two choices out there, and for the respect, it was our president who said that she is not fit to be in the White House.
I know, and now he's
First lady that
and
said
now he's
she's
out
not
stumping
fit
for
to
us.
be
So
in
what
the
can I
White
say? You know,
and now we're campaigning for her. I mean, either she's fit or she's not. Now, I'm not saying that.
yeah, but I
Donald
can say
Trump
the
is
same
fit
thing about
either.
Ted Cruz. I mean, you know, Donald Trump talked about the man's wife and his father, and he said he could never support him. And then just this past weekend, he said, "Well, I'm going to vote for him over Hillary Clinton."
Well, but one thing about it though is Donald Trump didn't come back and say that Ted Cruz was fit for the White House though either. So, I mean, there's a big difference between the two.
Right.
Well, I think one of the
You're now
problems.
saying that.
I think one of
Oh,
the
go ahead,
issues. I'm sorry. That one of the issues I believe that people get so hung up on is the different personalities of the candidates, and I think if we focus on the policies rather than the personalities, then we'll get somewhere. Because I think you're choosing, Darren, the lesser of two evils based on personalities.
Personalities, but I mean, at the end of the day, I also feel that if I'm comparing apples to apples as it relates to their policies, I'm a stronger supporter of her policies versus that of Trump's. You know, because I mean, she's not afraid to tax the rich. I don't have a problem with that. Donald Trump wants to cut taxes, and as we talked about yesterday, doing some note taking or whatever, that I've never once seen where cutting taxes has been beneficial to the economy. So that's, you know, so again, as I said, because we're talking about policies, apples to apples, I'm a stronger believer or a stronger supporter of Hillary's policies versus Trump's. Now, if you could replace Hillary Clinton in her policies with that of Bernie Sanders, then, you know, then I'd be a happy guy. But because of that, I'm stuck with, like I said, between one or two candidates. So if I have to, I can't not sit this election out by not voting. So if I have to pick between the two, I got to side with that of Hillary Clinton. At least, you know, via, you know, now if there was Marco Rubio or John Kasich running against Hillary, then we'd have a different conversation. But versus Donald Trump, I got to go with that of Hillary Clinton.
Fair enough.
Well, I understand your position on it, but that also means you agree with keeping the North American trade agreement in place, which is causing us to lose all our jobs.
Hey man,
So,
I don't support everything that Barack Obama, that President Obama did. So I'm not going to support everything. You know, I don't go in blindly supporting everything that they do, because if that was the case, then, you know, then we don't live in a democracy. I can agree to disagree and campaign against, you know, things that I don't stand for. You know, I don't support NAFTA. I don't support the TPP. Now Hillary has said that she doesn't support the TPP. Of course, when she was the Secretary of State, she was for it. Now, more or less, she's against it. And if she becomes president, perhaps she'll change her mind. And if that's the case, then, you know, I mean, like you, leopard can't change the stripes or spots or whatever. So we'll have to see. Because at the end of the day, both candidates are saying what they're going to do when they get in office, and then when they get in office, things change. So, you know, I mean, they don't do everything that they said that they were going to do.
So, in that vein, do you believe that we should hold Obama
Yes,
accountable
of course,
for the things that he said that he would do but didn't do?
Yes, I mean,
So when do we start calling him out? Listen, you want to make a list?
I mean, nobody's stopping you. I mean, look, why do you think Cornel West and Tavis Smiley are on the outside of the White House? I mean, I don't make excuses for me. You know, the whole thing began, and trust me, talking about race as it relates to Skip Gates. You know, I was pissed off at the fact that he apologized to the cop. The cop did do something wrong by trying to arrest a man at his own house. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you go inside the guy's house, you see pictures of him and his family, but you still arrest him like he's trespassing. I mean, you know, the president said that the cop acted stupidly, which he did. And, you know, so now, you know, but then he had to go and apologize for what? You know what I'm saying? I'm pissed because the president didn't take a stand. So, you know, I mean, yeah, he's not, you know, he's not, I mean, he's not the almighty. He's just another man that has a powerful position where, you know, he has the power of life and death over a lot of people. So I'm sorry, Mr. Shockley. Go ahead. She kind of threw me off.
No, I was just going to say though, when it comes to President Obama, though, you also have to admit he's the only president that we've ever had that has always been in a no-win situation.
Yep.
He can't win. Either he's not doing enough for his own race or he's doing too much for another race. So he's always been in a no-win situation.
Well,
when it
he
comes to a
could have
president.
landed some wins for some black people too. I mean, he did. He got some wins for Hispanics. He got wins for the LGBT community. All we were asking were some wins for African Americans.
Well, and you know, and like you say, that's why you have these political debates. I just believe that he was in a no-win situation. I don't think that it was possible for him to make everyone happy. It just wasn't going to happen for him. I mean, he was in a difficult position enough, being the first African-American president. And as I go and I let you all debate this, I just want to say for the record, though, that I'm not a Trump supporter.
Right.
But I also cannot support Hillary Clinton. So
do you plan on sitting this election out, or what are you, or third party, Gary Johnson or Jill Stein, or what?
Well, you know what? I can't even go with Gary Johnson anymore. I thought I might until he started speaking. Once he started speaking, that took him out of the race too. So I'll just have to sit by and watch his debates, and you know, maybe one of them will turn out to be a front runner for me. But for right now, I mean, I just can't. I can't see it. It's just not happening for me. I'm not excited about either candidate.
Now, before we let you go, what are your thoughts on tonight's debate? I mean, you know, since you are a Republican but not supporting Donald Trump, what do you expect to come out of this debate, or what do you expect, you know, Trump to do in the debate, or Hillary to do to maybe agitate him or get under his skin? And what do you think is going to happen in tonight's debate?
I don't think that he has to do much. I mean, her record speaks for itself. I mean, it would be easy to demolish her on stage. I mean, other than she's a seasoned politician, where he's not. But, I mean, anybody that's ever been in a debate with him and tried to tear him down, I mean, 17 up, 17 down. That's all I'll say.
Now,
He'd be better off sticking to the issues.
But now, in defense of, I'm not even saying in the defense of Hillary, but in the defense of the setup for tonight is just one-on-one. There's no commercial breaks, and he doesn't have other people to bounce off of, and there's not going to be any crowd interruptions or interactions. So do you think that's going to have an effect? Because that's what he was able to play off of in the debates with the other candidates.
I still don't think it'll make a difference.
Okay.
I think the outcome would be the same if you try to cross swords with him, so to speak. Like I said, 17 up, 17 down. So he's not the greatest debater in the world, but he's the best at slinging insults for sure.
And you know what? While I got you on, you know, what I tell people is that Donald Trump is a showman and he's an entertainer, and people forget that he has a 30-year-plus relationship with Vince McMahon of the WWE, where he actually hosted WrestleMania 4 and 5, and I believe another WrestleMania 9, where, so, you know, he's part of that sports entertainment or that entertainment life to where he's not afraid of the camera or to perform in front of the camera. And he's someone that, you know, when the lights come on, don't underestimate him. And that's, you know, that was the thing that I always said, that when he ran, I said, you know what, this guy's going to be, he's either going to be the candidate, the president, or he's going to be in, you know, in the final runs, because he has what it takes to see it through. And not only that, you know, the big difference between Donald Trump and everybody else is that he doesn't play by Queensberry, you know, I mean, he plays by Marcus of Queensberry. He doesn't play this regular political, like you said, Hillary's a seasoned politician. He doesn't play that game. So he's able to, you know, so everybody is trying to, you know, be above the fray, be presidential. Donald Trump is just being who he is. And by doing that, throwing the dozens, because, you know, like you said, people are tired of the status quo. And, you know, Hillary is part of the status quo as well. I'm not, you know, I don't drink the Kool-Aid. So, you know, I'm not going to say that. But Donald Trump, he is something different. So, you know, and that and that does excite a lot of people, good, bad, or indifferent.
Well, Hillary's had 36 years in office, and I haven't seen her change anything. So good luck with your candidate, Mr. Smith.
All right, Scott, appreciate it, and give my niece a kiss for me.
I will do.
All right, thank you. And Reyes, thank you. We will, end this as we get ready for the debate. We need to go grab us a bite to eat and sit down and get our seats ready and get our popcorn ready, as T.O. would say. And but just give me your final thoughts on Diamond Silk, our phone call, and as we get ready for tonight's debate.
It's great to see black women support Trump, and I started following them as soon as I found out about them months ago, maybe about a year and a half ago. So it was great to actually have that exchange with them, and I'm excited to see the debate.
Yeah, and one of the things before we get out of here, a gentleman wanted me to ask them about the protests and stuff like that, and I'm glad that they actually didn't, not that they were taking sides, but they did realize that, what's going on, and it's something that needs to be addressed. And of course, you can take it either way, that, black on black crime, but of course all that comes with proximity. If you're in an environment that mostly blacks, you're gonna have black on black crime, just as you would have in Simi Valley, white on white crime. It's just, and there's more white people than there's black, so it's more of that happening in black on black crime. But, we just happen to be the ones that are televised a lot about that. So anyway.
So I would challenge Trump to go forward with not what do we have to lose, but what do we have to gain? What do we have to win? I want to hear him talk about that and how he can bring about those changes so that we all can win.
Yeah, I just want to hear specific policies and how it's going to affect, because at the end of the day, the white man is going to be okay. I want to know, what are you going to do for my people, my race? I love everybody, all lives matter. But at the end of the day, I'm a black man, you're a black woman. I want to know how your policies are going to affect us. Because the white man is going to be okay. And the white man is going to make sure that the white woman is okay. But I want to know, about the rest of us and how your policy, because if people...
In fairness, ask that to Hillary Clinton as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, trust me, if I could get somebody from her campaign that's, not scared to come on the show, I would. Obviously, that's why I have great respect for Diamond and Silk. We send an invite out, and they jump right at it.
Because no one asked, there weren't any black people asking that of Obama. What are you doing for black people? They just assumed that he would have our backs.
Yeah.
We had that faith in him, and nobody asked him, and no one is calling him to the table saying, "Hey,
people are calling him on the table."
Tavis and Cornell did.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that,
and Ben Carson.
Right, but what I'm saying is that you don't see enough black faces on TV that are or even on radio that's out there.
Well, that's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
We need to see that. We need to see more of that. He did not.
I agree.
He did not look out. Shame. So while all these black people are saying, well, okay, well, Mr. Trump, what are you going to do for black people? Ask those same things of Hillary Clinton.
An argument's there. All right. Well, we'll look to probably see you after the debate. Ms. Reyes, we got to go because we got 30 minutes before this debate is about to start,
Yes,
and I'm
sir.
getting hungry. So thank you all for joining us here on All Politics is Local. For Darren Smith and Ms. Rais Keyes, thank you for joining us this evening.